when you are somebody who's not skilled, so let's say you're not a skilled coach and you're doing this as a new career, what you must give yourself is a permission that it'll take at least a year before you get any results. It may be faster, but that's the permission you need to give yourself, the space that you need to give yourself, because you're going to start from a skill level that's not even there. So forget about building a business. You don't have the product yet, right? Your product is not in confidence yet. So if you have the runway for a year, if you have saved money for it, if you have resources that are around you that can take care of it, if you're funded in any way, then fine, you can quit your day job. That's fine, because you're funded, you're taken care of. Because what will happen is the first year is going to be shit. For the matter, first 2 years or 3 years are shit. Like, you're not making a lot of money. Even if you make money, it's not a lot of money. You're just barely making enough to be able to continue to grow your business or invest back in your business, right? So if you're going to need that runway and you don't have something to runway on, you're going to fall right into the trap, and you're going to quit on the career of coaching that may give you the fuel that you want in your life, the joy that you want in your life. So if you have the runway, knock yourself out. You can quit whatever you want. But if you don't have the runway, know that the runway ends at some point. It could be a month, 2 months, 3 months.
Right.
And when that runway ends, your journey will end.
You're going to be in oh shit mode.
You're going to be oh shit. Yeah, you're going to be oh shit, it's not working. Oh shit, I don't have the money. Oh shit, I need to pay the electricity bill. Oh shit, who do I ask for money from now? Oh shit, what my parents will think about it. Oh shit, so many oh shits are going to happen at the same time, that you're going to be feeling trapped in that reality, even if your pursuit, your joy sits in coaching. And you will think coaching is responsible for you not being happy. Right? And nobody built a career being unhappy building that career. Right? It's just not possible. Like, you're frustrated, you're not, especially an entrepreneurial career, because it's really frustrating to be an entrepreneur, firstly, because you have to deal with no's, you have to deal with a lot of your own self, you have to deal with constantly thinking, how can I make this product better? There's a lot of stuff that you're handling that in a job you don't have to, right? Because in a job, you're doing a singular specialized thing most of the time. So your brain is very much specialized into that activity. So it's easier to do that activity. As an entrepreneur, new one, if you're not funded, if you don't have a team, you're doing every activity that a business needs at the same time, which means it's incredibly frustrating if you don't know how taxes are to be filed. Right? Especially now, if you can't even afford an accountant, well, good luck with that. Right? That's going to take away 2 days of your time, 5 days of your time. Instead of, oh, you know what? I want to have enough runway that I can pay an accountant to pay my taxes or file my taxes, so I don't have to wait 5 days of my time actually filing something that I don't even want to learn anyways. Right? And that is useful when you're actually building a career. When you're building as an entrepreneur, as you're building a company, it's useful to not have to do things that you don't want to be good at, are not naturally good at, is not a skill that absolutely is required to be successful in your career. You're not required to be a great accountant to be successful in coaching.
Right.
Like, you're absolutely not required to be great at finances if you want to be a coach, right? You need to know how to coach. That's the skill that you really want, and you want to put all your time towards it, not on how to do accounts or anything like that, right? Not on how to build a website or any of that stuff. Those are not skills that are important. So ask yourself, what am I trading, right? What is my runway? How much can I actually afford? And if you don't have the affordability, well, then you don't have the possibility of quitting. Then you suck it up. You got to suck it up for 6 months, 1 year, save up, so you can have that runway, and now you quit. For the matter, it's actually better, because it's like almost like you are on this safe track of your job and career. You're getting paid, you're making some money, good. And while that is happening, you keep building this runway, right? And one day the runway will actually be as sensible, as scalable, as valuable as the safe track that you've been driving on all this way, right? So then if you quit it, nothing changes for you, because your lifestyle stays the same. You know, when the greatest hurt that happened, one of the greatest hurts that happened to a coach is when they have to start sacrificing their lifestyle, because they sacrifice their learning, they sacrifice their happiness, they sacrifice their joy, they become needy, they become desperate for clients. None of that helps you actually create a business. So you want to find what's that minimum income that you need, build that income while doing your safe job so you can have that runway. And then you go, okay, now I can actually just do this, and then you can quit your job. So much better, so much easier. No, anxiety, no fear, no challenge. Just keep it easy. Why do you have to stress yourself out to building this runway while you are actually trying to take off from this runway. That's just a crazy idea. What tends to happen is people think that they're losing time, is why they go, oh, I must quit right now because, if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it. But that's not true. Most of the coaches, let's say if they start their careers in 30s or 40-year-old, even 50-year-olds, 60 years old, right? Let's say this is when you're starting your career. Well, guess what? You're probably likely to live until you're 100, 110. Like if you're actually about 30 years old, you're likely to live up to 100 based on studies, right? That means you've only lived about 30% of your life. There's 70% of your life left. Even if you spent next 7 years building that runway, 7 years, you've only utilized 10% more.
Yeah.
Right? You still got 63% left of your life. That's most of your life.
This goes back to you saying that time bends for you, right? Like you're not really wasting time or losing time. And I love that. I love what Lisa Nichols once taught all of us. I remember being inside of her global leadership program, and someone was sharing about the same thing. Like I should just quit my job. They were talking about how they should just quit their job. And Lisa was like, your job is your investor. Your job actually helps you to invest in your business. So rather than saying, I hate my job, I want to quit it, wow, you have a paycheck that's coming in every 2 weeks. So you have that security going for you. Like it actually really just a shift of like, wow, I'm so grateful that I have this job now. And it will actually help you learn how to have time bend for you, because if you're working 8 hours a day, then what are you doing for the rest of the time, right? And that's where you get to prioritize.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you think about any great entrepreneur, that the story to tell is I quit everything and I started this.
Yeah.
It's most of the time it's not true. Most of the time, the people who even quit their schools, they quit when they were already stable in the business. Right. They had already got an investor. They'd already had somebody backing them. The business was already built enough where there was some profitability to it. Otherwise, most of the time, they took actually longer to build a business than they would have if they kept the safety of a job. It actually it took them longer. It took them 10 years to build a business instead of 2. Because they now had to figure out money and do things that they don't even want to do, ship a crappy product, not do the services that they promised. Just basically had clients pay for their journey without giving them the service. Instead of doing that, and that's why it took you longer, because clients hate you, right? So you don't want to do that. Instead, build this runway as you are, use your job as your investor, like Lisa says, use your job as an investor, and keep building along the way. And you would be so much happier. Your clients will be so much happier. You will actually get off that job and into a stable career in the matter of 2 to 3 years instead of taking 7.
And you would have done it in a way that didn't stress you out so much, which is what we want. We don't want to be stressed out while we're doing the thing that we love, right? We wanted to, this is a lifestyle that we're choosing to have. So I love I just love the visual of creating that runway side by side. I want to talk about the first 1 to 2 years of business as a coach. In life, when our expectations don't match our actual experience, oftentimes we get caught up in this mental drama of, I'm not good enough, I don't have what it takes. All this stuff. What's the best mindset for anyone who's like, you know what, I want to become a coach? What is the mindset that they need to have?
If you're choosing a new career, including a coaching career, you want to choose to get into that career thinking that I'm going to be in this career for the rest of my life.
Wow. Say more about that.
Yeah.
Say more.
So when you choose any career, if you take a short-term approach to that career, you're not building a career. You're just seeking the next opportunity. And you would probably want to find another opportunity very soon then. That's not going to be fun, right? You're not going to enjoy it on a long term. It's not going to be something that you'll build that is sustainable. You'll just build something that will make you some money, right? This happened when coaching became popular. There were a lot of coaches. Suddenly they were like, everybody was teaching coaching marketing, and everybody was teaching coaching how to coach, and everybody everybody who has coached one person was saying, I'll teach you how to coach. And that was because it was an opportunity. Everybody was like, oh, this is a hot booming market. Let's go into it and let's do something. And soon enough, crypto boomed after that, maybe 3 years after that. And everybody was a crypto expert right after that. Now crypto is crashing. Somebody will become some other expert, right? And that shows a person that they are not necessarily conscious and aware and interested in coaching or crypto. They're interested in the boom.
Right.
They want to be rich because they think rich will give them happiness, or rich will give them joy, or rich is all they care for. And all they want is the big car and the fancy yacht. And nothing wrong with that if that's you, but let's be conscious and aware that that's you and be okay with that. Then do that shadow work and say, well, yeah, I'm kind of messed up. That's all I want. I want validation through money. I
And
actually
material
don't
things,
seek,
yeah.
I don't seek love. I seek love because I'm rich. So great, go for it if that's what it is. But if that's not what it is, ask yourself a better question. If I'm doing this, if I'm interested in helping somebody live a better life, if I'm interested in living a better life myself, why do I have to rush it? What's the point of saying I must get there today? I must get there better is a better question, right? Take your time if it takes the time. Coach for free, coach for paid, coach while you're having your job, coach while you don't have your job. Coach. Enjoy the process of the journey of creating something that's valuable in the world outside, and take away the time limitation on it. Take away that idea that I must do this for 1 year and 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, because it doesn't matter. Like I said, in the scale of life or in the scheme of life, there is at no point you're at least 10 years away from death. Whatever time you chose to have this career. At least that's what I think. Again, I don't know my audience's true age and every listener's true age, but what I see on like age demographics, you're somewhere between 30 to 50 is usually a person that listens to this podcast, which means you're 10 years is like minimum that you're away from death. You're probably 30 to 40 years away from your end time. And if science and technology doesn't develop more, you're probably 50 to 60 years away, right? So if you have that much time, how does it matter if it takes you 5 years to build a career, right? That you will have for the next 30 years that you actually enjoy, right? Instead of trying to rush this career, build it, and then build it as quickly and then go, oh, I don't even like what I built because I just built it for money. Built it for joy, right? And if you build it for joy, it will take the time because you'll discover things as you're building it. And that's perfectly fine.
I really love how you answered this question, which you were like, start if you're transitioning into a career, think of it like this is going to be my career forever. When you said that, I was like, ooh, forever, like that, commitment issues coming up. But I have to be honest, I actually love that approach. Like as I'm entering into being a voiceover artist, in my mind, I've been thinking about like, wow, if I do this forever, like I'm applying it to myself, that I'm like, who would I be? Like, it's just when I'm committing to something long term, it's like a full body experience, right? It's not just like a one and done. I'm just going to do this and be done with it. I love that approach of like, if you're going to do this, go into it like you're going to do it forever, because then I feel like you'll make less impulsive decisions when you do that.
Yeah, you make less impulsive decisions. You're more conscious of the product that you create. Right. You're concerned about the quality. You're concerned about, what is happening for my client, what is happening to the earth, what is happening to the universe while all of this is happening. You're a lot more aware of things and you're a lot more at peace with the pace of life. You're a lot more ease to the pace of life and the pace of career build. And that gives you time. And when it gives you time in the sense of it allows you to lean into, it can take as long as it needs to take. And when you do that, you will find that you also give yourself a chance to be in the company of legends. If you really think about it, let's think about anybody that anybody looks up to, right? It is very much a possibility that person has been doing that thing for at least 10 years. Right. Maybe even more, right? We just talked about our friend Lisa Nichols or our mentor Lisa Nichols. She's been doing this for like 30 years, right? Something like that. Mind Valley has existed. The domain was just 20 years ago, right? Tony Robbins has been teaching classes for 40 years. These people have become legends not because they decided, I'm going to go do this quick thing for the next 2 years and see if it works. They did this because they're like, I love doing this. I would do this if I wasn't getting paid. I, of course, want to take care of my bills, but I would do this on my free time if I wasn't getting paid. I would do this forever, right? Now, here's the thing. It may be that you don't do it forever. Maybe you fall out of love from that relationship with coaching or that career of coaching, and that's okay too. But the way you approach it is you're going to do it forever. It's like being in a relationship, really. When you approach a partner, you don't say, what would be great? This partner I'll marry for 2 years. 2 years is all I get. 5 years. That's the marriage cycle that I want, right? You don't, if that's the cycle, you're not going to look for the best partner. You're going to look for the one that you can survive for 5 years. You're going to look for the best partner, the most partner that grows with you and dances with you. When you say, this is going to be my partner for life. And that's how I'm going to approach this relationship, not the 5-year term, right? If you approach a relationship like that, you're not trying to rush marriage. You're trying to take your time. You're like, okay, I want to understand you a little bit more, right? You're not trying to rush babies. You're trying to understand the person, saying, hey, I want to know you more, right? And when you are confident and comfortable with that, you say, oh, now, yes, let's have a baby. Let's have a child. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's get married. Let's actually put a legal document to it. All of that happens because you found the pace and the comfort with that person. If you make a rush decision, well, you don't really have a happy life most of the time.
Wow, I have like so many more follow-up questions that I want to ask, but here's one that's coming to mind right now. So if we approach this new career, right? I'm going to do this forever. And then we decide I don't want to do this. Then that's okay too.
That's okay.
I think so many of us, and I've struggled with this as well, but I think I've never really, it hasn't been that hard for me because I've had many different careers, right? I've gone from therapist, I've done coaching for 11 years. Then I went into plant-based culinary school because I thought I wanted to be a chef, but honestly, I just love to cook. So I was like, and I love to eat. I'm like, let me just learn how to cook. So I did that. Then I became a yoga teacher. I went to India and I learned Ashtanga yoga. And I did that for myself. I did a lot of these things just for myself. I think people need to give themselves permission to change their mind. Do you find that a lot with people coming through EverCoach as well who want to start off, like they start off all gung-ho and they're like, I really want to be a coach. And then they're like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. What do you notice typically has happened between this like surge of excitement to, wait, I want to give up? What has happened in between?
So what I've found is that if you're a growth-centered person, you will change your mind.
Okay.
That's absolutely going to happen. And that's not a bad thing at all. If you are a growth-centered person, of course, you're going to find things about life and find new joys in life, and you will change your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I'm not saying you must have that career for all your life. I'm saying you approach it as if you're going to do it for life. And that's not because you actually will do it for life. Nobody knows what's going to happen in life. I'm no future teller that I can tell you, oh, that's how your life's going to unfold. But what it does for you as a person is it gives you the presence and gravitas and patience of saying, I'm building something solid. I'm not just trying to figure something out for a short term. It's exactly like how you build a relationship. A real love partnership is not built on weak ground of a 1 week partnership, right? That's not a solid partnership. A solid partnership is built over years and moments of you doing the work. That's exactly how a career is built. You do work moment by moment every single day. And then one day you see the fruits of that work that you've done, right? So that's kind of how a career is built. So even when you change your career, the new career you pick is going to be the same. Don't approach it like, oh, I'm going to do this for next 1 month. Then you're not choosing a career, you're choosing a hack.
A short-term fix.
A short-term fix, yeah. It's like snorting cocaine instead of actually doing something with your life.
Yes.
I don't know why I thought of that example, but I've never even done cocaine.
Well, listen, I will speak to this as someone who has used a lot of cocaine in her life, no more, but it's definitely a quick hit. It's to make you feel good in the moment, and then eventually you come down from it and you're like, I don't like this feeling anymore. You know what I mean? So it's really, I get your example. Your example is really all about, please don't just be in it for the quick hit and the fix, because that fix, it's not fulfilling. It's not long term. You can have a quick hit, you can have a great high, but it's only going to last for so long.
Yeah, so that's kind of why you want to approach it like you're going to do it for a very long term, and know that you will change your mind because you're a growth-centered person, and there's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just who you are and how you will evolve, and sometimes you will not change your mind, and that's okay too. That's perfectly fine. So lean into that, and I think that gives you that pace that you can really accept the pace of life, and be open to the change that will happen.